Here at World Egg Expo with Phil Karsting from USDA FAS in Washington, D.C., making the trip all the way to Tulare, California. Phil, have you been to World Egg Expo before?
This is my first time, and I'm really excited to be here. This looks like a wonderful, wonderful show, and to have it in a place that is such the center of agriculture in California and a really important part of America's agricultural scene, it's really a pleasure to be here.
Now, I understand part of the work that you're involved with is, getting some of these products out of our country and trading with other countries. And, you know, this TransPacific Partnership, we hear so much about this in the news lately. What's been the latest, and maybe fill us in on what this is all about?
Right. We've been negotiating the TransPacific Partnership since 2010. Our last round of negotiations were in New York, and we're really getting to the point now where we can see what the landing zones are to make this a really high standard comprehensive agreement. And it's really important to us because about 40% of the global GDP occurs in the countries that are participants to these negotiations. And we see a lot of opportunity to move the needle on agricultural exports. We have tariffs on certain ag products in some countries, particularly in dairy, that are upwards of 400%. We'd like to make some progress on that. But more broadly speaking, this is a chance for us to help set the rules of commerce throughout the Pacific region for many, many years to come. We want to create an environment where there's an adherence to transparency, where there's adherence to good scientific practices, and builds on the successes that we've had in agricultural trade in the last few years.
Well, what's the deal with Japan, and why can't we bring some of that, tariff down?
Well, I mean, Japan has vocal farmers just like we do in the United States, and so it's sort of imperative they've got to look at what their sensitive products are. But I think we're making progress. We are having conversations that we've never had before with the Japanese in ways that I think will be good for our producers in a variety of different sectors. So it's all a negotiated process. One of the things we really need to bring it to conclusion, though, is to have a trade promotion authority. The President mentioned it in his State of the Union address. And so that's part of what I'm going to be talking to people here about in the next 24, 48 hours. TPA, as it's called, and I hate to throw people into the mosh pit of acronyms that trade people do, but it really does strengthen our negotiators as they go into these final rounds of negotiations, so that our trading partners know that we can stand behind a deal when we get one.
Other than Japan, are you other countries out there as well? I'm sure there are. Huh?
Absolutely. Vietnam and Malaysia are two big economies who are also party to these negotiations. So there's a whole lot of economic activity there, and we've really made some progress in some of these places. But it's time to move to the next level.
Yeah, it's 2015. We talking about trading with Cuba now. Huh?
Yeah, indeed. That's has got a lot of people's attention. The President made some historic changes. We've got an office in Miami that covers the whole Caribbean. My Foreign Agricultural Service does. And so there are several steps that have to happen in the meantime. Reflagging an interest section into an embassy, all kinds of negotiations going on there. At the end of the day, it's probably going to take some action by Congress to really allow us to fully utilize some of our loan guarantee programs and our trade promotion programs, but we're just very excited about the changes the President has made so far.
Good. It's all about, executing on this, and because, hey, the bottom line is we're feeding the world and putting food in bellies. Huh?
Exactly. And it's not just that. We're also, I think, making a real difference in people's lives here at home. And for me as FAS administrator, I love to see big numbers. I like to see record numbers in exports. But at the end of the day, it's the farmer who can go and buy another Ford F-150 in downtown Turlock. Or it's a family that can put more money in their education savings account for their kids or fund somebody's wedding. Those are the really things. And that's what happens incrementally when we grow trade.
Well, that's good comments. Thanks for stopping by here tonight on the eve of World Egg Expo, and have a good first ever.
All right, it's good to be here. Thank you.